This Saturday marks the final Saturday afternoon meeting for the season here in Hong Kong. This is what we've got coming up on this edition of HK Direct. And the highest class event for the program is the Lung Mun Road Handicap, a really competitive Class 2 over 1,600 metres featuring a field of 11. We'll have more on that shortly. Plus, we've got two South African jockeys, Callan and Grant van Niekerk, who will be joining the riding ranks next season. Doug Chalmers has more on those too. So the trophy race for the meeting is the Hong Kong Riding for the Disabled Association Cup, but the highest class event comes up a couple of races later on. Race number 8, a Class 2 over the 1,600 metres. It's the Lung Mun Road Handicap. And Victor Wong's got the ride on Citron Spirit just to assist with a bit of weight relief. He'll carry 123 pounds. Rivet steps up in distance, and as the blinkers on for the first time, championship leader Zach Purton's got the mount on Simply Brilliant. Fast Most Furious will be ridden this time by Callan. Over the page to Dances with Dragon, Circuit Glory. Joe Moreira rides He's the One for Us, who's drawn beautifully in Gate 2 for his first run over the mile. And the son of Frankel, Last Kingdom, rounds out the field of 11 in this Class 2 contest. So let's have a look at some lead-up form for this race. And one of the main lead-up races was the one won by Ratton. We're going to have a look at He's the One for Us, who was up on the speed in this event. Circuit Hassler alongside of him. Deeper on the track on this day was Rivet, and just behind the leaders was Fast Most Furious, who didn't have the clearest of passages in this race. We roll the footage as they turned for home. The pace was very strong in this race. He's the One for Us had to work to be up on the speed, and I just think that didn't really suit him here. His effort to stick on and finish 5th was very good. Circuit Hassler from a wide draw also had to work to be up on the pace. He's done a great job to finish 3rd in this race. Rivet, he's got the blinkers going on for the first time. He's had a couple of runs since the Derby. He's stepping up in distance to 1,600 metres. That will suit him. And you'll notice that he ran on quite nicely in that race. And even though he was a fair way off the winner, Ratton, he wasn't that far off the place getter. So I think that he can run really well on Saturday too. While Fast Most Furious was a bit unlucky in that race, he's won 2 of his last 3. He's certainly a legitimate contender on the weekend. The other race that we're going to have a look at also was at Sha Tin. We're looking at More Than Lucky, who was up on the speed. This was his first run for a few months in this race. And we've also got to take note of Citron Spirit, who covered a lot of ground. Again, we roll the footage as they turn for home. So as mentioned, More Than Lucky, this was his first run for a few months. We hadn't seen him since February. This was his first run back in May. He was up on the speed. For mine, it was the run of a horse that would take benefit out of it. He was just found wanting over the last 100 metres after leading for much of the race. I think that he'll be better off for this run. He's won 4 times this season, 3rd in the Hong Kong Classic Mile, so he's definitely a big chance. And Citron Spirit hasn't had much luck at his last couple of starts. He was 3 wide throughout that race. The start before that, he bombed the start and was flying home. He's a super consistent horse, so he's definitely worth consideration. One other horse we need to take note of is Simply Brilliant. Zach Purton's picked up the ride on this horse. Last time out, he covered a lot of ground from gate number 14 in that race. He's drawn to get the run of the event on Saturday from gate number 3. For mine, he's improved as the season has gone on, and he's my idea of the winner. So, filing through selections, it will be Simply Brilliant on top for me. I've got him ahead of He's the One for Us, More Than Lucky to fill the 3rd spot in the race, and Circuit Hassler. He's only won the 1 race, but he's been super consistent lately. He's got a better draw. He'll be up on the pace, making his own luck, and I definitely think he's a hope. 3, 10, 4 and 6 are my numbers, and I think that the way to go betting-wise is to back Simply Brilliant to win. If you were watching the program last week, you will have seen Andrew Lejeune's interviews with Tommy Berry and Joe Moreira about their reasons for leaving Hong Kong at the end of this season. We've got 2 new jockeys from South Africa joining us next season, Callan and Grant van Niekerk. Here's Doug Chalmers with more on the pair.
Several greats of South African racing have made their mark on the ultra-competitive Hong Kong racing scene, like Basil Marcus, Robbie Fradd, Felix Kutsi, and most recently, Douglas White. 2 more young South African riders will be trying to follow in their footsteps when they arrive at Sha Tin next season. Callan Murray is returning to Hong Kong after enjoying a 2-month stint in 2017. That visit yielded 4 wins for Murray, including a victory on 88-1 outsider Lucky Year in the Group 3 Sha Tin Vase.
Fabulous one, Lucky Year, they fight on, Lucky Year in front, not listening to me, DB Pin surging wider out, Lucky Year, Callan Murray, what an unbelievable performance.
According to Murray, the opportunity to rub shoulders during that time with some of the world's best jockeys proved invaluable.
I think it's well documented that Hong Kong is some of the biggest and best racing in the world, and obviously riding amongst some of the best jockeys around, such as Zach Burton and Joe Moreira, also some of the best trainers and horses. So I learnt a lot from just being around them. Obviously the races are run very differently to South Africa, and just the competitiveness of it really taught me a lot as a rider, and yeah, I'm just very excited to be going back.
Murray went back to South Africa at the end of that first stint and has ridden over 100 winners in his home country this season. The 21-year-old admits, though, that a big opportunity awaits for him in Hong Kong at a time of change in the jockeys' ranks.
There's obviously going to be a lot more doors that will be open. That's up to me to make sure those opportunities come my way. I'm going to have to work really hard, and I'm definitely not afraid to do that. It's going to be a lot of hard work, but I think with all the opportunities that are around now, it's going to make it probably a little bit easier. But with that, obviously, as I said, I'll have to work hard to make sure that I get some of those opportunities.
While Murray has already had a taste of racing in Hong Kong, compatriot Grant van Niekerk will be stepping into unknown territory, as it will be his first time on the Hong Kong Jockey Club's roster. Van Niekerk has had a memorable year so far, highlighted by his association with outstanding filly O Susanna, who he guided to victory in the prestigious Group 1 Sun Met earlier this year.
The 3-year-old filly O Susanna is coming home best of all. It's O Susanna that flies home to win it.
27-year-old Van Niekerk leads the way on prize money earnings in South Africa this season and has also ridden in excess of 100 winners for the campaign. Overseas reputations count for very little, though, in the pressure cooker environment of Hong Kong racing, and both Murray and Van Niekerk will be hoping to make their presence felt quickly when the new season starts in September.
Thanks to Doug Chalmers for filing that report. We wish Callan and Grant all the very best of luck when the new season commences. We've also got plenty of awards coming up as we approach the end of the season, and voting has now commenced on the most popular horse, jockey and most admired overseas horse. Voting runs until the 27th of June. The results will be announced on the last weekend of the season. Choose from your favourite horse here in Hong Kong, your favourite jockey and your most admired overseas horse from the likes of Arc Heroine, Enable, dual Hong Kong Vase winner Highland Reel and the Queen of the Australian Turf, Winx. For more information, go to the website hkjc.com/mphj. We're almost out of time on this edition of HK Direct. Let's recap the details for Saturday's meeting at Sha Tin, and Trackside Live coverage for the 10-event card gets underway at 12:30. Our trophy race is race 6. The highest class race, which we've previewed, the Lung Mun Road Handicap, is race number 8, due off at 4:35. Further information can be found on the website hkjc.com, and as always via Twitter at hkjc_racing. So that's it for this edition of HK Direct. We hope to have your company at Sha Tin on Saturday, and then join us next Friday for HK Direct, when we'll be looking ahead to the 2 features, the final 2 group races for the season, the Premier Cup and the Premier Plate. Until then though, it's goodbye.